Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave. This is Sam, and our executive producer Zalo is also here.
In the flesh.
And tonight we're going to be talking the Bob's Burgers movie. But before I get started, I want to remind you guys, go ahead, hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this content. And make sure you check out our other content. Earlier today, I did a review on the Bob's Burgers short film, My Butt Has a Fever, which I personally thought was hilarious. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, check out the review I did on Emergency on Amazon Prime. Great movie. Had a lot of great things to say about it. Make sure you guys check those two reviews out. And also hit the like button on those. And come on, refer them to your friends. Bring them here to the channel. Let's all get us on here and up our subscribers. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking in with us. We're finally back. I know I said it's going to be a content dump week, and I'm sticking to that. And, of course, for a content dump, I had to bring out Sam. She had to appear. So,
and speaking of content dumps, we have some animes on the rise. So be prepared Tuesday for I'm going to do High Rise Invasion. I've also watched Bubble, that's on Netflix. I've also watched I can't remember the other one. It was Bubble. Damn it. I'm gonna have it written down Tuesday. But just check out Bubble, High Rise Invasion. Check that out. It's only one season. Check that out on Netflix. So we can talk about it Tuesday.
All right, so getting into our main course of the night, the Bob's Burgers movie. So it's this was released on May 27th, Memorial Day weekend. This movie, of course, is based on the popular adult animated television series that airs on Fox, also known as Bob's Burgers. And the show follows the family, the Belcher family, as they just go through their day-to-day exploits. You have Bob, who's the father, the head cook of the restaurant,
business owner.
The owner of the restaurant. You have Linda, who's his wife, his three kids, Tina, Jean, and Louise. And you also have our reoccurring guests such as Teddy, Mr. Fish Odor, who's the landlord, and so many other cast and characters in the show. It is a really great and funny show. It's been praised. It's just completed its 12th season. 13th season will be coming out this fall. And so this movie here, like I said, is a theatrical debut, and it the plot has to do with a ruptured water main causes an enormous sinkhole right in front of Bob's Burgers, blocking the entrance indefinitely and ruining the Belcher's plan. Hold up. There we go. Ruining the Belcher's plans for a successful summer. While Bob and Linda struggle to keep the business afloat, the kids try to solve a mystery that could save their family's restaurant. And as the dangers mount, these underdogs help each other to find hope as they try to get back behind the counter. So, off that, I was excited when I heard that there was going to be a Bob's Burgers movie. For those of you who don't know, I think that when a TV series gets the theatrical treatment, I think it's something that's just to be beheld. I love it. I think it's such a great testament to the popularity of the show and the network's belief in the show that they're willing to spend millions upon millions of dollars to put this tiny little show that runs 30 minutes every night to a big screen, hour, 30-minute plus movie that costs a lot of money, marketing budget, adding the extra little shadows there so it looks more expensive. And this was an exciting moment for me. I know it was supposed to come out so many times before, but because of the pandemic, it just kept getting pushed and pushed. And we almost had a scare thinking it wasn't going to come out at all when it was removed from the release schedule. But we finally got this movie this year, like I said, on May 27th. And I got to say, I was entertained. I thought it was great. This does a lot of what you would want it to do. You know, it brings in a lot of the characters, lets them have their moments. The story is worthy of the big screen treatment, and we get enough of the characters in the movie to actually say, hey, this was fun. And it's not too much to alienate you if you're a newcomer, and it does a lot for you if you're a fan of the series. I'm just a small fan of the series, but mega fans of the series, I imagine they enjoyed this so much. And the music in here slaps. But before we get into any details, Sam, let's get your opinion on this movie. What did you think of the Bob's Burgers movie?
Well, I'll say to start, I was not a fan of Bob Burger TV show. Because the kids, I'm like, these rude ass kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, so stuff like that may cause you not to be a fan at first. Then, you know, when there's nothing else on TV, then you got to watch something. So that was just one of the shows. And I was like, you know what? I can watch this. So, you know, I've grown to love Bob's Burgers. So watching the movie, I was like, all right, let's see what this is about. So I'll say that I agree with Dave that if you have never watched Bob's Burgers, you can go to the movie theater and watch this movie without feeling lost. You'll get straight introductions. You'll know who everybody is. Um, there's nothing hidden in the movie to where you wouldn't really catch on. Like from the opening, like
right.
it is basically the TV show elongated, and I really appreciate that portion of that. The only thing that I would say for me is, in movies we expect character development. I expect character development in movies, and I don't think that was really noted for, characters such as Teddy. Now, Mr. Fishholder, we got that. Like, I feel that was a great character development for Mr. Fishholder. We got to see a little bit more of his life, his family life. Just delve into his background, so we really get to understand the boardwalk as he owns. So we really get to understand that dynamic and how that came to pass. So I really appreciate that background of information. I'm really upset with Teddy. Because Teddy, Mr. Fish ought to have more, than Teddy, and I just wish that it was just a little bit more. I mean, we get a lot of Teddy in the shows, but like I said, if you don't watch the shows and you're looking at the movie, you'll get that Teddy's Bob's best friend, whatever. There's no like real background. So yeah, but I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was funny. I thought that it had the only thing that pissed me off was all that damn singing. I was like, it's a musical or what? But that was the only thing, is all the singing. But outside of that, I really enjoyed the movie. It had its little scares in there where, I won't say so. But overall, it's really comical. They're just the average family trying to make it in the world, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Defeated almost every step of the way. So
one of the things that's
extremely relatable.
That I think is really that I think was really cool about this movie too. Like Sam said, this movie it keeps the scale kind of small in terms of location. Most of the times we get these movie adaptations, they always end up going on a road trip somewhere, or they end up in another place, or something bigger than life is attacking them, or something like that. This movie stays in the town that they're in, and it definitely focuses on the pier, which is for the show. There is some lore to the pier, but nothing really too heavy. This kind of adds the heaviest lore to the pier and makes it seem like such a bigger location, which you could argue that the pier is probably the biggest location in Bob's Burgers, the show, as it is.
I mean, that's the main attraction. That's the That's the what's the word?
I would say between the pier and the school, you get a lot of a lot of those places.
I mean, but that's basically the places that they dwell. Because like I said, more catered towards, as any show, their daily living. So
like we said earlier when we were talking about the plot synopsis, this movie kind of it opens up with Bob and Linda. They're kind of trying to get around having to pay at that moment the loan that they have on some of their restaurant equipment. And so they figure, hey, if we kind of give him a little bit of a taste of our food, and he'll see that how good we are, and that we maybe even deserve this extension on our loan that we have. And a lot of that opening there is kind of done through song, like Sam mentioned. Now, I would disagree with you on that, because I think that the songs in Bob's Burgers, the show, and some of the songs, the 3 to 4 songs they had in the movie, it's not full musical, but it's musical enough. I think that the songs in the movie were good. I didn't say it
was bad. I'm just saying not anybody want to hear no damn singing.
No, I love it. I love it. There was only one song I really kind of didn't care for, but the other ones, especially the song at the end of the movie, I have that song stuck in my head constantly on repeat, because I just think it's so catchy, and it kind of falls in line with what you would see at the end of an episode, at the end of the movie. So I love that. The opening song was really, really good. It slaps. It gives you all the character motivations. It tells you what the characters are going through at the time, and you really get a sense of who's who. The roles of the character. So yeah, after I'm going all over the place with this, but so after Bob is trying to find a way that they can extend the lease, because they only have 7 days to do it. Once they're trying to figure something out, that's when a sinkhole happens to erupt, or
the water line busts, and it causes a whole sinkhole right in front of the restaurant,
in front of the entrance.
While they trying to get their money right, now they can't even get people to come inside. And the funny thing was that they had to find an alternate entrance. So that part of it was funny, the alternate entrance. Yeah, just come around the back. Don't mind the pee, don't mind the butt.
So yeah, it was
just come on through like the back.
Also, and if that's not enough, you also have the stories with the kids. Now, this is why I also disagree with you with character development, because we get a lot with Louise and her story there. We definitely get some things with Tina and her story there, and Jean is the one that doesn't really have anything to really go off of, because Gene's he's a simple man, but his story was the weakest. I would say that with Tina's story, that was pretty interesting to me, because it kind of delved into how she feels about her hat. Any fan of Bob's Burgers knows that Tina's hat. Oh, I'm talking about the wrong. It's Louise. Louise has the hat. So any fan of Bob's Burgers would know that Louise's hat is one of the biggest things in the series. It's part of her identity. She never takes it off, and when it's off, she goes crazy. That's like the 90
cartoons where we have what is it? Powerpuff Girls can't see the top of their head.
So it was a really interesting story behind that. They do give an explanation behind that, one that I think Bob's Burgers fans will be excited about. I was excited when they went into the backstory about the hat, because I understood that was a moment that we don't see in the series. We hear about it, but we don't ever see it. So to see it, it was like, wow. And that was like a big moment in the film. So like I said, it's this really straightforward plot. You have the kids trying to figure out how to save the restaurant. Louise is trying to prove that she's not a baby, because she gets called a baby because of the hat that she has. Tina, her thing is she's trying to still get with Jimmy Jr. So, and she's discovering, well, do I really like Jimmy Jr. or is it just a temporary thing? Right.
The idea of who he could be, as we all do, stuck in an idea of a person. Yeah. So that's her in this particular portion of her life.
Yeah, and
it's funny. That was really funny though. Just a little imagination of him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like teenage girls. So it's something for teenage girls to relate to.
Right, and like I said, Gene, he's just trying to get with the music, man. He's just Gene. So it's a really simple story. There's a mystery in this movie, though. You would think, well, what qualifies Bob's Burgers to actually extend the theatrical plot? Well, there's a mystery, not just a mystery, a murder mystery, and it's definitely a really good one too, because I thought, and I'm pretty sure Sam thought too, that it was one particular character in the movie that they kind of, you do get a really good, you get a really good red herring, and it's something that when the reveal comes, it's not only shocking, but it is deadly hilarious. I have not laughed that hard in the movie theater at a comedy. I can't remember the last time it was actually, but I laughed to tears. Because there is a villain song, and this is technically a Disney movie because Disney owns 20th Century Fox, blah, blah, blah. You guys know, I said that earlier. So technically, Bob's Burgers currently has one of the best villain songs, in my opinion. And I don't know, it's not officially released yet because it's a big spoiler to the plot of the movie. So whenever it gets released, I'm going to be listening to it, and I'm going to be judging if it stands up there with Be Prepared by Scar. But I think it stands up there with Be Prepared by Scar. It's just a funny version of it. It is very funny. The surprise villain was funny. You do get a lot of the side characters in this movie. Not as many as you may have wanted. Like Gail's not in there. Gail's really the only one I wanted to see in there, honestly.
Oh, yeah, she wasn't in there.
But if you didn't see them in a speaking role, you definitely saw them in at least a physical role during the end credits, because everyone kind of does a little dance move during the end credits. But outside of that, our executive producer is rude, guys.
She's sleepy.
But yeah, outside of that, there's the comedy. I love the comedy in the movie. Yeah, it is. I do agree. We got a comment from Sticks Parks Studios, best movie ever. I agree. I forgot I could do that. Oh, but yeah, so this movie here, like I said, it is really a gem of a movie. I thought it was something that really stuck out. A lot of people want to compare it to the Simpsons movie. I'm like,
wouldn't.
No, you can't. It's not fair to compare it to the Simpsons movie. It's not something that like that's a lot of the discord.
Developed. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Simpsons have been out for a long time.
Even it was like 20 something seasons when we got the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like,
you cannot compare.
Can't compare it to the Simpsons.
Everybody always want to compare like Fox shows, but this particular thing, I understand you want to compare this as family. No, you cannot compare.
No comparison. I would say just now with all the praise that we're giving the movie. I would say that there are, like Sam said, there are some slight downfalls to it. I do agree. I wish there would have been more Teddy because Teddy is hilarious. But in the lines that he got, they were funny
because
that's just him. I do believe that there might have been a little bit of a pacing issue somewhere in the middle. There was a time where the movie kind of slowed down. It kind of felt like a little bit like it was dragging a little bit, but not to the extent like where you were bored, just to the point where it was like, okay, well, because it's almost 2 hours long. It's like an hour and 40 something minutes. So
it didn't seem like it.
It did, but it didn't. Like, and then one of the things
I'll say that's good for me to say that it didn't seem like that because that means that it wasn't boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, damn, it's over.
And I feel like a lot of the another thing, I feel like it picks up a lot in the third act where you get a lot of the family together, which is you see a lot of the family dynamic in that third act, which makes sense to the story, but it's kind of something like while you're watching it, you're kind of like, wow, like I will, just love for that family humor that they have that kind of carries the show a lot, where they're all interacting and bouncing off each other, because Bob's Burgers is a very dialogue-driven show.
I would say for me that they do bounce off each other a lot, but we also have them. It's always Linda and Bob, and or Teddy, or it's the 3 kids.
Right.
Then we have like maybe a scene with them together. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe we might split up and have Linda and a child. You know what I'm saying? So, because I've been watching the show lately. So I know who I'm talking about right now. So I think that the way that the movie went is the exact way that the show would have went, where they have it broken up, the kids trying to find whatever. Just like, let's just take one of the episodes where let's say the one I can recall real quick was when they went into the cave, the little thing blew up with Louise had the little stuff thing. You know what I'm saying? Where the kids broke up and had their thing. The only thing they didn't have was friends in there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, they had them in there for a while.
But you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying? Like, friends at the reveal, like, you know what I'm saying? So that was a little bit different. You know what? I don't mind that.
And I think there were a couple of newer characters in terms of like the kids at the school, like the ones that were calling Louise a baby. I don't remember ever seeing them in the series before. I could be wrong, but because I also didn't know the series was on for 12 seasons. It really shocked me when I found that out. So I mean, it's been a fun ride with Bob's Burgers, and I love it. One of the things I said, this movie was so good, it could have served as a finale for the show, and I would have been perfectly fine. I'm glad it's going on for another season, and there are things that happen in this movie that are going to take effect in the next season of the show. That's been confirmed. I won't spoil that because major spoilers there. But I thought this movie was great.
Now you really think about it, like they really did something different with this movie. Like I said, it's not average like you would expect it to be. The way they not threw everything together, but composed and set everything up. It made for a good movie. Yeah, like I said, every movie has little weak parts, and I can't recall any right now. Maybe when the villain started singing, because he was off. I'm so sorry.
I thought that was hilarious.
Maybe when the villain started singing. Oh my God, I cannot. I just couldn't get over it. Like 3 songs in a row. I was like, spare me, bruh.
However, I will say about the songs, there should have been one that slapped a little bit harder than the ones that we got. There should have been a certified, because even with the short film, My Butt Has a Fever, that song was an amazing song. I had it stuck in my head. Might have been it.
The song wasn't.
They weren't as great.
Yeah,
they were good
compared to TV show songs.
Yeah, because like I said, the only one that I even
because they do
Sunny Side Up Summer was a good one for exposition replacement.
I don't even remember what that was.
That was the very first song.
And that part was like, oh yeah, I was like, no.
Open. I thought it's good, but my favorite one
when they started singing, I just started started to not listen.
The song I liked the best was the one at the end of the movie. Was like, my burger buns are shaking for you. That's my song. I have that song stuck in my head. I play that song like once a day. It's so good. It is so good. I love it. And then just the fact that it, like I said, it does what the episodes do. It happens at the end of the movie. You get your quippy lines between the family. Then you get the credits, and the credits have the dancing on the side. And I'm like, yo, this is the perfect way to end this movie. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. So this movie, would it be worthy of a sequel? Because I have heard that they have ideas, but they're not doing anything concrete until they get the call.
Maybe another movie. I wouldn't necessarily say a sequel, because then what we're gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? Well, he gonna break out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Well, now we're gonna have to compare it to the Simpsons.
Well, not like a sequel's like, but like a Bob's Burgers movie 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I think that would be interesting.
Thank you.
I think that would be interesting. What else?
I would watch it. Like I said, the only thing I would want to see probably, go in a little bit harder on the songs, because they go hard on the TV show.
Yeah, they can do a full blown musical at this point.
No, I'm saying, because in the songs in the TV shows, like those songs were harder than these songs.
Yeah.
So they just need to, since you got that movie, hey, take the gloves off, bro. Take the gloves off. Give it.
Right.
Serve it, because like I said, they really did too. And like I said, with a lot of the comments and stuff, especially like geared towards Tina being more of an adult and stuff like that. So I really like the fact that they don't hide like their children growing up and moving into adulthood.
Right.
Like I really appreciate that part of it, because that's the part that people don't want to look at with their children, but they're accepting it. They give them room to mess up. They give them room to just be themselves and bring them back when it's time. So like that's what I really enjoyed about the movie and about the TV show, and that's why I didn't like it at first. But then I had to understand. That's why I didn't like it.
Right.
Because I'm like, badass kids. No. Let them find out.
They're hilarious. I mean, this movie, like I said, I can't emphasize how much of a comedy this is and how many laughs I got off of it. I can't wait to see it again. This movie has grossed $28.8 million at the box office, which to many can be seen as a failure. To many can be seen as middle ground. I don't know what the budget on this movie was. That's information that I don't think is available. I haven't found any, but I think that's good. I think 28.8 million is good. I was at the movies yesterday and people were walking by the Bob's Burgers screenings. They were like, oh, Bob's Burgers. Oh, we could sell Bob's Burgers. See Bob's Burgers. Don't waste your time on Jurassic World Dominion. It was trash. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. But Bob's Burgers is a better watch. For me, it was. Anyway, so yeah, and critically, this has been loved by critics everywhere. Critics love this movie.
It's a 7.4.
7.4 out of 10 on IMDb, but 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, this movie is loved by fans and casual viewers alike.
I think it really received the ratings because of fans of the show. Like I said, if you watch the movie separately, I'm sorry.
No, there were people who weren't fans of the show that gave it high ratings. They were like, well, we've never seen much of the show, but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you haven't seen much of the show, it's not hard to jump into this and say, oh, yeah, that was good. Watching the show, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's on, I'm watching it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, It could have been just a little bit more as a person who's been watching the show. Like, I want to see a little bit different. Like, the people who have not been watching, of course, you know what I'm saying? This is a good introductory. It is a good introductory. It's not too much. You get what I'm saying? Right. And it actually gives you the background. So you know what? I'm gonna have to give y'all credit, because this is a great introductory movie. It really is, because it does not give you too much background, as opposed to somebody like me who's been watching it want background.
Right.
So for people who've just come, it'll be easy for you to catch on and to start joining and watching the show without feeling like you've lost or missed anything, because you really haven't. If you go and watch this movie, because you're gonna find a family dynamic, you're gonna see the close-knitness, you're gonna see the friendships, and then the most important thing is the connection with the boardwalk, Mr. Fishholder, and all of that. Because that's one thing that we don't get in a TV show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we get it, but we don't get it in depth. Like, we really find out in this movie. So I think that overall, when I think about it like that, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, I do want to say this movie is rated PG-13. So
our kids did watch it.
Yes, we did take kids. It is appropriate for kids. It's appropriate for kids. I saw the Simpsons movie when I was like a freshman in high school. And I knew jack squat about the Simpsons. I just knew that hey, these are Simpsons. My mom was always saying, "Oh, Simpsons are gross and disgusting." But I went with my dad seeing a couple of my friends.
I ain't about to say nothing.
This show, it was a show. It was a Simpsons.
School, we ain't gonna say nothing, but okay.
Look, kids of all ages can watch this.
They can.
Do it at your discretion, of course.
And like I said, I believe that parents need to start talking to their kids anyway. The world is moving too fast for you to be stuck in the Stone Age.
The only,
I'm so sorry.
I would say the only thing that a parent might find a little raunchy. Yeah, I mean, and they say there's a line in here that says, "Oh, my penis area." Like, I mean, that's it.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where you could say, well, that's a correct medical term. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So I mean, this movie it's a family picture, honestly, and in every sense of the term. Family because it deals with family and it's for family. So it's a great movie. Bob's Burgers movie, highly recommended. What would you give this? Or do you have any final thoughts? And then what would you?
I don't have any final thoughts. I would give it I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's really because of that last song in there though. But I can definitely agree with Sam. Like as a fan of the movie, as a fan of the show, there are things such as Teddy that I wish there was more of, and it's definitely. But it is something I was telling somebody when I saw this. I was like, this is something that I feel like I can watch it again and again and again and pick up a different piece of dialogue every time.
And now I can see why people might compare it to the Simpsons movie, but it cannot be compared. But it is something that can be watched over and over.
I just wish that the marketing for this movie was way better because, again, this isn't a Simpsons. This is the first adult animated series and the first animated series that isn't SpongeBob that's being turned into a theatrical movie, or Paw Patrol that's being turned into a theatrical movie. Market the hell out of it, Disney. Don't just focus on Marvel and Star Wars and that bull crap.
They feel that's where their money comes from.
The money can come from Bob's Burgers. If they would have, think of all the marketing they could have done for this. I look at the marketing campaign for The Simpsons and shit, and it's like they could have had such a better marketing campaign. But that's neither here nor there. The movie was great. Check it out. It's now playing in theaters. I don't know where it'll be streaming at. I would assume maybe Hulu when it's ready to stream. Disney. So or Disney Plus, but I would look at Hulu first. Well, they're all owned by Disney anyway. Who cares? But thank you guys for tuning in. That is our review of Bob's Burgers, the movie. Make sure you guys check out my review of the short My Butt Has a Fever and my review of the movie Emergency on Amazon Prime.
Stay tuned Tuesday.
Stay tuned Tuesday for the return of BrickWall Anime.
High Rise Invasion. High Rise Invasion is on Netflix. One season. Check it out.
And I will be continuing to drop content for the entire week. So I'll be back. I'll be back soon. But until then, guys, take it easy. Stay safe out here. Peace.